especially on home soil for her, for the Olympic team silver medalist from Rio. What's your thought, because you'll have watched these obviously a little more closer up?
My thought is that I love this horse.
Yeah.
It's a horse so far that Fiona has chosen to ride very, very gently, very much for the future. Well, to give you an example, look at the curb rein, how loose it is. Now, you might say that that's too loose, but it actually sums up what I think Fiona's plan is. She's not riding everything out of this horse. It's a very young Grand Prix horse and a very talented Grand Prix horse, and it's bred. It's out of her Olympic medal-winning mare, so it's homebred by Fiona. And I think she's doing a super job at producing this horse, and it'll be interesting to see how this mare deals with this atmosphere. The frame is lovely, Trot is lovely.
And interesting, you've got two horses on the British team that are homebreds as well. Becky Moody's World Cup champion with Jaeger Bomb as well. So it shows it can happen.
Yep. So everybody out there that's got the mare, hurry up and get it in full. You're leaving it a bit late for this season. And that's what I mean. So lovely air time there. Could the horse have just travelled a little bit more sideways? Well, yes, and that's perhaps what we're going to see for next year as we move up to the Olympics. So not completely still to begin with in the hind legs. Nice step back. Come on, Fifi, just gather that left curb rein up. It's a bit too loose. I know what you're doing, which is great, which is keeping the horse on the snaffle rein. And I hope you're going to see some great talent for piaffe. Oh, look how the hind legs stepped underneath. They stepped underneath a bit too suddenly, all in one go there, actually. But, you know, still the horse could deal with it. This is what I mean. When you have a horse with tremendous technique, if you like, and the will to give a lot, you've got to just keep toning things down and telling the horse not quite so much of this and not quite so much of that. Now you see Fiona just intervening a little bit for the first time with her hands to encourage the horse to take the head and neck up and out in the extended walk. What you don't want is a horse curling over. So Fiona just encouraging that. Gather your knitting up, Fiona, that's it. And now a collected walk. Ah, that's nice in the head and neck. Oh, steady. And now I hope you can see the talent for the future with this horse. Bear in mind that Fiona is hardly asking anything. Now she's leaving that travelling forward because she obviously feels the hind legs were coming a bit too far under. So when a horse narrows its base, you have to keep the front legs slightly moving up to get the front leg function right in the whole puzzle, if you like. Horse coming nicely into the snaffle reins now. Now Fiona hasn't ridden this canter forward so far with the production of this horse in the. She could just move it forward there. She started, so that's a good sign. A bit of sneezing from the horse. Could be a number of factors causing that. And this is what I mean. On the short side, it'd be great to just go a bit more forward, but I think if you got the feedback from Fiona, she'd explain, or you know, the horse has got to let you do that. It's got to feel the right moment for that. And as you watch this horse develop under Fiona's tutelage, then you will. That is one of the things I think you'll see. But she's staying true to her convictions and just giving this horse a nice ride through, good experience. Oh, now that wasn't Fiona's fault. The horse, this is what I mean, when you have a horse that just gives you a bit more than you need. So we had a couple of extra ones. So
Right.
I didn't explain that.
I was going to let you explain that. Yeah, yeah.
I was busy riding the
How's that? Because again, in terms of scores, that's going to put some 4s and 5s
Yes.
in the mix there for them, as well as being having consistent 7s.
Yes, I'm afraid so. As I said earlier, with somebody that did too many, you don't get extra marks, which would be nice if you did. You actually get penalised quite heavily. So,
and in terms of you know, as we said, it's a 10-year-old coming through here. They've had scores up to into the early 70s this season. Well, but again, this is also partly, I would assume, the British team looking towards LA too, the horse 2 years down the line, and so forth.
100%. This is part of this horse's stepping stone. No, that's a lovely picture. The neck is up. She's into the bridle there. That's where Fiona wants her. Yeah, this is for the future. Fiona has held her nerve. She hasn't changed her strategy from what she's done all season. What has changed is the size of the atmosphere, the screens, the enormity of Aachen. But Fiona hasn't changed. And I think that's a really good bit of horsemanship. So yes, the scores are less than she's been having, but those 2 extra changes, for one thing, will drag that score down. So great bit of development, horsemanship there from Fiona, and I hope you agree with me that it's a really exciting combination, exciting horse.
And that's what I mean about team selections. You've got to sometimes look ahead, and as you talked about, the first